What is up? What is up? YouTube, how y'all doing, man? Oh man, this is Kanye West. They saying that they got him. I pray that they don't. I pray that there's nothing happening to anybody, man. Check out my song. Yeah.
Not for money, not for cars, not even for my own hood. I just close my eyes and I pray. I pray that Sunday don't stay the most fake day of the week. That we live what we preach when we rise to our feet. I pray one day we don't see color in the face. Only one race, one love, the human race. I pray for peace, not power. For unity that don't fold in the dark hour. I pray for the child with no voice, no meal. That one day he eats and knows how love feels. I pray success finds the ones that grind quiet, who didn't sell their soul just to go viral. I pray we remember His grace when we fall, that God still answers when we don't call. I pray for you, yeah. You're scrolling on your phone, feeling broken, feeling left all alone. I pray your health stays strong, your path stays clear, and blessings fall on you like tears. But I want you to know that's what I don't say in these lines. I never pray for money, and I never pray for myself. I never even pray for the ones closest to me. Not cause I don't love them, but because we love don't bend. It believes faithfully. Just some things I pray for. I pray for the mothers with tears in their eyes, holding it down but dying inside. I pray for the father who left too soon and the child he made trying to fill that room. I pray for the teacher who's spinning their own, trying to give hope cause the system is blown. I pray for the ones who got talent but no light, for the ones that write verses just to make it through the night. I pray we break generational chains, stop passing down drama like it's part of our name. I pray our hearts don't stay numb from the pain, and one day we dance in the middle of the rain. I pray for the silence behind fake smiles, for the strong ones breaking after holding it a while. I pray for the ones that feel too far gone, that God still reaching when the devil gets strong. I pray for the kids locked up in the system, no love, no hugs, just the world that miss them. And I pray for the soldier with scars on his mind, he made it back home but left peace behind. I pray for the ones who scream but ain't heard, who feel invisible when they speak a word. I pray you feel seen, I pray you feel true. I pray that these words can help you.
I pray that these words can help you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
But what I mostly pray for is you.
We also need to pray for Kanye West, man, because sometimes he jump a little too far on the other side and go crazy, man. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
Kanye West has officially reclaimed his industry throne. After dropping a new album and selling out a US stadium for the first time in years, he has transformed from an industry outcast back into its most powerful figure. But this comeback was not a coincidence. If you look closely at his latest music video and the symbols displayed at Sofi Stadium, you will see that this return came with a specific cause. The question is not just how he got back on top, but what he had to become to get there. Is Kanye still the only artist who can be controlled? Or has he finally accepted his role as a high-level industry vessel?
What?
Today, we are decoding the layers of his latest performance to uncover the reality behind the new Kanye West.
What?
Just last year, Kanye West was arguably the most blacklisted individual in the entire entertainment world. He was the industry's #1 enemy. We saw a total collapse of his business empire as major global sponsors dropped him, his longtime record labels cut ties, and he was effectively banned from performing in every major US venue. It seemed like the bridges weren't just burned, they were completely demolished. But almost overnight, that narrative began to shift. The catalyst for this sudden transformation was his alignment with the powerful new distribution and media company Gamma. Shortly after this deal was finalized, Kanye embarked on a massive, calculated PR apology campaign. This move was clearly the key that unlocked the door that had been slammed shut for years. The results were undeniable. Not only was he able to release a new album that immediately dominated the streaming charts, but he just successfully sold out SoFi Stadium in California. This performance marked Ye's official re-entry into the highest levels of the industry. It proved that even after challenging the very foundation of the media business, he was able to find a way back to the center of the stage. But when you consider everything Kanye has said and done over the last few years, this sudden acceptance is highly suspicious. Why would the industry powers be so willing to embrace him again after he spent years trying to expose and tear their system down? If you have been paying close attention to the visual language he's using now, the answer becomes easy to uncover. Remember, Kanye's entire platform was built on the idea that he was a rebel who could not be controlled.
Control them. You get what I'm saying? They control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce, but they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
He claimed the industry was ideologically opposed to his mission and his people. He positioned himself as the one man who would never bow to the pressures of the corporate machine. Yet, here he is, standing back in the spotlight, supported by the exact same corporate and media structures he once labeled as manipulative and corrupt. This tells us that the war might be over, but not in the way his fans think. It suggests that Kanye may have finally fallen back into place, transitioning from an independent force to a strategic vessel for the industry's broader agenda. He is no longer fighting the machine. He has become a part of his latest iteration. We see the most undeniable symbolic proof of this contractual surrender in the specific imagery and symbolic themes found in his latest music video for Father. To understand what is actually happening in the Father music video, we have to look past the surface. For most people, it just looks like a collection of weird random images. But in the world of high-level media, nothing is random. Everything is a symbol used to tell a specific story. The entire video takes place inside a cold, empty church. Usually, a church represents a place of peace and tradition. But in this video, Kanye is showing us that the old world is being dismantled to make way for something new. Early on, we see a nun being arrested while a knight in armor stands by. For a normal viewer, this looks like a movie scene. But symbolically, the nun represents the old way of believing in God. By having her hauled away by the police, the video is telling us that the old rules no longer apply in Kanye's world. The knight represents the power and force. It's a message that the industry is forcibly clearing out the old guard to make room for a new kind of faith centered around celebrity. The most talked about part of the video is when the astronauts pull off Kanye's mask to reveal a gray alien. To understand this, you need to know a little about a belief called Gnosticism. Gnosticism is basically the idea that our human bodies are just suits or containers for a divine spirit that comes from the stars. In the video, Kanye is showing us that the Kanye West we see on TV is just a mask. Underneath, he is claiming to be a starseed, a being from another place who is just visiting Earth. The simplified meaning of this? He's telling us he doesn't belong to the human world anymore. He has ascended to a different level where he is no longer a man, but a vessel for a higher power. Notice that Kanye doesn't take off his own mask. 2 astronauts do it for him, and then they drag him away. In the industry, astronauts or spacemen often represent the high-level handlers, the people behind the scenes who control the technology, the money, and the image of the stars. By having them unmask him, the video is showing that Kanye isn't even in charge of his own secret. The handlers are the ones who decide when his true form is revealed and when he is removed from the stage. While Kanye is being dragged out, Travis Scott walks in. He undergoes a wedding with 2 women at the same time. This is what occultists call a chemical wedding. This is a direct reference to this image here. Travis is showing himself following the same path as Kanye, using it to ascend. The very last shot is a man carrying a massive wooden cross, sitting down exactly where Kanye was. This is the most important lesson of the video. The seat is never empty. The industry is a machine. It takes a vessel, like Kanye, uses them until they are exhausted or unmasked, and then immediately brings in a new person to carry the weight. It's a never-ending cycle of sacrifice. In the background, there is a man who looks exactly like Michael Jackson. Why would he be there? Michael Jackson was the ultimate example of a star who was consumed by the industry. Having a Michael Jackson look-alike watching the scene is like a hidden warning. It suggests that the cycle of using and discarding famous people is still happening. Michael was the vessel of the 80s and the 90s, and now Kanye is the vessel for modern times. To understand the Father music video through the lens of the occult, we have to view it not as a story, but as a high-level initiation ceremony. In the world of esoteric traditions, art is often used as a sigil, a visual tool designed to manifest a specific change in reality. This video is Kanye's way of announcing his transition from a rebel to a permanent institutional archetype. The video begins in a stark, minimalist church, which in alchemy represents the Athaner, or the furnace, where the old self is burned away to create gold. The arrest of the nun is a symbolic act of desacralization. By having a knight, a symbol of the will and militant power overseeing this arrest, Kanye is signaling that the era of passive traditional worship is over. He is clearing the temple to make room for a new, darker doctrine. The most profound occult moment is the unmasking of the alien by two astronauts. In Gnostic philosophy, the material world is a prison created by a lesser god, and our human bodies are merely flesh shoots hiding a divine spark. The alien form represents the pneuma, or the spirit from the stars. By revealing this form, Kanye is claiming apotheosis, the transformation of a man into God. The astronauts act as the archons, the cosmic gatekeepers who control the flow of information between the heavens and the earth. They are the handlers who manage the transition. They don't just unmask him, they harvest him, dragging the divine spark away from the church and back into the void. While Kanye is being harvested, we see Travis Scott engaging in the Hieros Gamos, or a sacred marriage. However, this is a subverted version of the ritual. By standing between two brides, Travis represents the union of dualities, the merging of the masculine and feminine into a single compliant entity. In the occult, this union is required to stabilize the energy of a ritual. While Kanye represents the chaos of the transition, Travis represents the order of the new system. The final scene, where a man carries a massive wooden cross and takes Kanye's seat, is the ultimate reveal of the industry's occult structure. This mirrors the solar cycle of death and rebirth. The old sun, Kanye, has set or been abducted, and a new sun must rise to take the burden. In occultism, the egregore is a collective thought form fueled by the energy of a group. The celebrity is the physical vessel for this energy. The industry requires a constant pharmakos, or a scapegoat, to carry the weight of the public sins and desires. The message of the video is clear. The individual artist is irrelevant. Whether it is a man, an alien, or a knight, the seat of power must remain occupied. Kanye has completed his great work by surrendering his human identity to become a permanent, faceless icon in this eternal industrial ritual. While the Father music video gave us the blueprint, Kanye's performance at Sofi Stadium was the actual activation of that ritual in the physical world.
That's
to
crazy.
the average fan, it was a high-energy concert with some technical glitches. But to those who understand the language of symbols, this was a massive high-level ceremony designed to finalize his new role in the industry. That stadium was a modern temple. In ancient times, rituals weren't held in private. They were held in massive theaters to harness the collective energy of the crowd. By choosing SoFi Stadium, one of the most technologically advanced structures in the world, Kanye transformed a sports arena into a locus sanctus, or a sacred space. When you have 70,000 people focusing their attention on one central figure, that creates a massive energy field. In the occult, this is called an egregore, a collective thought form fueled by the audience. Kanye wasn't just performing songs, he was directing the focus of a mass initiation. We see that in the aesthetic of the void. The entire stage was covered in a thick, monochromatic fog, and the lighting was kept strictly industrial. This is the prima materia. In alchemy, this represents the void, or the first matter. Before you can create something new, you have to return everything to zero. By performing in a literal cloud of gray fog, Kanye was visually telling the audience that the old Kanye has been dissolved. He was performing from within the void, signaling that he is now a blank canvas, a perfect vessel for whatever the industry wants to project onto him. Once again, Kanye remained faceless. In esoteric traditions, the face is the seat of the ego. By removing his face, he ceases to be a human individual and becomes an archetype. He isn't a rapper named Ye anymore. He is a symbol of the artist who has been consumed by the work. During the performance, there were several moments where songs like On Sight and Power were intentionally stopped and restarted. Many fans thought these were technical errors, but from a psychological standpoint, this is a tactic called frequency recalibration. By consistently breaking the rhythm, the performer keeps the audience in a state of hyper-awareness.
Wow, dude. With all this stuff going on, I can't, man, whatever, man. This man right here, he be breaking down some stuff, man. I would have never gotten any. I don't even want to remember all this stuff he talking about.
It forces the crowd to disconnect from their expectations and submit to the director of the event. It's a way of proving who is in total control of the environment. One of the most significant parts of the night was the appearance of North West alongside Travis Scott. In high-level occultism, power is often viewed as a mantle that must be passed down. By bringing his daughter onto the stage in this specific industrial setting, Kanye is signaling the continuation of the bloodline. He is showing the world that the legacy is already being prepared for the next generation. This mirrors the ancient myth of the father, Osiris, passing his kingdom to the son, Horus. It's a message that the industry isn't just about one person. It's about an eternal cycle of icons that never truly ends. The Sofi performance was the public baptism of the new Kanye West. He went from being an outcast hiding in the shadows to a faceless false god standing in the center of a stadium. And just look at the performance. You can clearly feel the dark, eerie energy coming off of it. In this specific moment, everything is pure red, flashing lights, showing the same imagery we've seen from many of these performers that many deem dark and demonic. Kanye didn't return as a rebel. He returned as a conductor. By the end of the night, the message was clear. Kanye has accepted his position within the industry. He has traded his individual voice for a permanent seat in the corporate temple. He is no longer the man fighting the machine. He is the face, or rather, the mask of the machine itself.
Wow.
The new Kanye isn't a man fighting for his voice. He is a high-level conductor for an industry that has moved past traditional artistry and onto the realm of mass psychological influence. By aligning with powerful distribution networks and utilizing ancient symbolic language, he has ensured his legacy will live on, but at the cost of the very independence he once claimed to protect. As we look toward the future of the bully era, we have to ask ourselves, is Kanye still the architect of this vision? Or has he become the ultimate tool for the industry's new agenda? The symbols are there for anyone with eyes to see. The knight has entered the church, the alien has been unmasked, and the next bearer of the cross is already waiting in the wings. Kanye West didn't just make a comeback, he completed a transformation. He is no longer the industry's enemy. He is the most sophisticated vessel. The evidence is clear, but the final interpretation belongs to you.
See.
Has Kanye truly returned to power, or has he simply found a new way to play a very old game? What's truly sad is that even after Kanye spent years calling the industry corrupt, he then pushed his daughter into that very same industry. Kanye wasn't the only person to sign with Gamma. He also got North to deal with them too, thrusting her into the same chains he tried to escape from. If you want to know what Kanye's price for his comeback was, make sure to watch this video right now. Also, if you're interested in videos that go a step further in revealing the truth without the fear of censorship.
That's crazy, man. I mean, that's real crazy. So Kanye is making a comeback, and for some reason, he is bringing his daughter. I thought he was trying to stop his daughter from the mother from doing
Kanye
crazy
warned
stuff
us
with
that
the
Northwest was at risk.
with the daughter. I thought Kanye was not liking the mother because she was allowing the daughter to do all this stuff. Now he got her up on stage. Uncle Mike stay confused, man. Here we go.
Kanye warned us that Northwest was
That's
at
the
risk,
second one.
and back then, most people ignored him. But
Yeah.
looking at the events of 2026, his predictions are unfolding with clinical precision. North has recently debuted a look that has the internet calling her unrecognizable as she takes her place as the face of the next generation of Kardashians. But
Oh,
it was
my
her recent
gracious.
appearance on stage at the Skywater concert that changed everything. While most people were focused on her outfit, I was looking at the symbol positioned directly behind her. This appearance happened just days after Kanye's
That's
massive
crazy.
US stadium return was officially confirmed. After years of being sidelined, he is suddenly back in the center of the industry. Is this a coincidence, or are we witnessing the specific terms of a new alignment? Today, we're looking at why these two incidents are inseparable and what this symbol tells us about everything. Just a few days ago, this footage of Northwest dancing on stage with the artist Skywater went viral. While her look drew most of the attention, everyone missed a defining detail. The symbol positioned directly behind her the whole time.
Wow, I wouldn't even known that was a symbol. My man catching everything.
need to name it. You already know what this imagery represents. The moment I saw this, I instantly connected it to Kanye's warning and his recent scheduled comeback, and I knew something was unfolding. It turns out North was invited on stage by Skywater during a performance in Philly. While many believe she is way too young for this environment, that's not the real story here. When I researched Skywater, I found he repeatedly uses this imagery throughout his work. I checked his official site, and again, you see the symbol there too. Clearly, he is signaling an affiliation with the structures that manage the industry. What's telling is that this artist is signed to a label under Universal Music Group, one of the biggest conglomerates in the world. And it just so happens to be the exact same label Kanye was once bound to. This got me thinking, isn't it strange that right as Kanye is set to make a comeback, North is popping up with artists showing they're a part of the system? Just 11 days before this video, Kanye officially announced his massive performance at Sofi Stadium in LA. Now, North is literally standing in front of the signature logo of the system he spent years exposing. We all know everything in this industry is a calculated move. North wouldn't be positioned in front of that symbol if they didn't intend for it to be seen. They placed her there to send a precise message. I believe all of this connects back to Kanye's return. His history with the industry regarding his children stems from his personal conflict with the system. While many still think he lost his composure and started calling out the labels for no reason, what actually took place was far more strategic. In 2020, Kanye realized he was trapped in a restrictive record contract. He discovered the labels held all his rights, and he was blocked from purchasing them back. In September 2020, he launched a massive public campaign against Universal Music Group and Sony, the two major conglomerates he claimed were controlling artists. When they refused to return his rights, he took drastic measures. This is why Kanye began making moves to dismantle his public standing. He intentionally sought to be sidelined so he could be released from his label. His plan worked, and he was finally dropped from the label. But it was a double-edged sword because he also ruined his career in the process. During the height of this conflict in 2022 is when his warnings about North began. Kanye made it absolutely clear that he did not want his daughter positioned within the industry. Around this time, he claimed Kim was attempting to mold North. He believed she was pushing North into the spotlight for her own agenda. He was deeply concerned about his daughter's presence on TikTok after her videos went viral. Seeing this, he expressed his frustrations on X. Tell her don't have my daughter wearing lipstick on TikTok and don't have her on TikTok at all if I don't approve that. Kanye also stated, I feel like there's some poking the bear trying to create this unstable narrative because to say someone is unstable, they're trying to take the power away and get people to ignore them.
I just look at my daughter full makeup, singing she's in love with an emo girl on TikTok, and I didn't have no say, no approval. Hey, what do you think? Do you think this would be cool or not?
Kanye felt Kim was accelerating North's entry into the industry prematurely. He believed the industry was positioning his daughter as the next focus. He didn't want her transformed into another brand or industry figure. So, Kanye challenged Kim's role, suggesting she was brokering North's entry to the system, stating that's exactly what their legacy is built on. This is when Kanye started accusing certain individuals and massive corporations of working to bypass his parental oversight. He believed they were trying to normalize her industry presence without his approval so they wouldn't need his consent for her professional representation. Kanye felt that because he escaped the system and exposed its inner workings, they were retaliating by shifting his relationship with his children. This is why he repeatedly spoke about them trying to distance him from his family. As time passed, we started seeing the pattern Kanye was referring to. North began appearing in aesthetic choices that felt far beyond her years. She started collaborating on social media with figures who many considered questionable influences. The moment everything shifted was last year, when her image took a drastic turn towards a more industry-centric look. It was clear she was being aligned with a specific legacy. This made Kanye vocal, and he didn't hold back. He suggested that North was being directed into the same path her mother was forced into. The more Kanye challenged this, the more he was sidelined by the industry, to the point where a US return seemed nearly impossible. By 2025, Kanye's music career looked uncertain. His chances of a major comeback seemed to have vanished, but towards the end of the year, we saw a noticeable shift in his stance towards the industry. It all began after he met with representatives to address his prior controversial statements. At that moment, fans were confused. He had looked like he wasn't backing down just a week before, but now all of a sudden, he was ready to reconcile. No one knew what to make of it, but soon, the timeline started making sense. After apologizing, Kanye disappeared only to reappear in January 2026 with a highly calculated move. He published a full-page, 750-word letter titled "To Those I've Hurt" in the Wall Street Journal. It is important to note this wasn't a casual apology. This was a corporate alignment statement. If Kanye wanted his core fans to know he was sorry, he would have tweeted it directly. But this apology wasn't for the audience, it was for the structure. This letter only surfaced after Kanye had reportedly secured his new partnership with Gamma Records. This suggests the apology was a requirement for his return to the center of the industry. Clearly, Kanye was mending the institutional relationships he once fought. Now, this is where the connection gets deep. Kanye wasn't the only one who joined this new platform. His daughter, North West, also secured a deal with the same company. Now, isn't that a coincidence? Gamma is currently led by Larry Jackson, who was a high-level executive at Universal Music Group, the very conglomerate Kanye went to war with for years. Now, not only is he partnered with a former UMG executive, but his daughter is as well. Suddenly, Kanye is fully supportive of North's digital presence and is even directly involved in the rollout of her recent music. Think about the fact that Kanye spent years trying to shield his daughter from this environment. Now, he's the one facilitating her entry into the system. He is officially making his comeback while his daughter is positioned directly in front of their signature symbol. To me, the picture is clear. Kanye decided to align with the new terms of the game. North's entry into the industry was a primary requirement for this return. These two events are not random. The fact that they are both partnered with the same label proves this is all calculated. Like I mentioned earlier, Skywater is signed to a label under the UMG umbrella as well. North is signed to a former high-level UMG executive. Her team likely facilitated the connection between the two. That is how she ended up on that stage with that symbol behind her. The message behind this was clear. The structure officially won. Not only did they bring Kanye back into the fold, but they also secured the next generation of the West and Kardashian legacy. Unsurprisingly, this time Kanye did not speak out against his daughter being in these environments. Before, he would have likely been the first person to vent on social media. But today, he has nothing to say. I think it's not just because of his new deal, but because the original stance was a strategic maneuver. North's entry into that world was almost inevitable. She is the daughter of two of the biggest figures in the industry. I believe Kanye simply did not want the system to control her before he could secure his own position. Kanye has been integrating North into the music scene for the last few years himself. He also placed her in adult environments when he invited her to his own events. Clearly, Kanye was comfortable with her being in the spotlight. He was looking for leverage to use against the conglomerates. Now that he's back in their good graces, he has no issues with the arrangement. In fact, it looks like he's the one who finalized the deal. Just like he convinced the world that his conflict with his labels was about corruption, when in reality he simply wanted out of his contract, his issue with North's online presence might have been as simple as him not being the one to profit from it. Kanye knows exactly how to get his fans on his side. He knows how to mobilize you to fight for his cause. That is what all of this has been about. He wasn't trying to expose the industry, he was trying to break its rules. So he tells his fans the system is evil so they can fight his battles for him. He wanted to ensure he was the one with the final word in North's career, so he claimed they were taking her from him. It was a strategy designed to utilize the fans to back his own negotiations. Look at the timeline of the last few weeks. On March 11th, the announcement for Kanye's April 3rd SoFi Stadium show finally dropped. This is his first massive US homecoming in years. 10 days later, on March 21st, North West appears on stage in Philadelphia with Skywater, standing in front of the very symbol Kanye once warned us about. This isn't a series of random events, it's a sequence. The path back to that stadium was paved by that full-page apology in the Wall Street Journal back in January. That letter wasn't just words, it was a signal that the negotiations were finalized. It's no coincidence that immediately after that public alignment, the doors to Gamma Records opened for both Kanye and North. By partnering with a former UMG executive like Larry Jackson, Kanye didn't just find a new label, he returned to the same institutional structure he spent years trying to dismantle. For years, we watched Kanye fight to keep his children's image independent from the Kardashian machine. He told us they were poking the bear to mold North for their own benefit. But in 2026, the bear has stopped fighting. Instead, he is now the one facilitating the rollout. He's the one standing by as North is positioned in front of these ancient symbols of industry affiliation. Did Kanye realize he couldn't beat them? Or did he decide that the price of his own comeback was the entry of his legacy? We are watching a total shift in behavior, and the timing suggests that North's new role was the missing piece of the deal. The industry didn't just get their artist back, they got the next generation too. The signs are all there, revealed in plain sight. From the Wall Street Journal apology to the Skywater stage in Philly, the terms of this new era have been set. Do you think all of this is connected, or is it just a random coincidence? I want to know what you have to say in the comments, because to me, it's clear what's actually happening. Kanye isn't fooling me with his attempts at being a whistleblower. He was just another Cat Williams who utilized his audience to get to the next level. If you want to hear why Cat Williams wasn't actually exposing the industry in his Club Shay Shay interview, make sure to watch this video right now. Also, if you're interested in videos that—
Wow. Wait a minute. I'm confused. So all this time, Kanye would just
bullshit.
That's what you let me know? Oh, man, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Shh. Peace out.